Heyo everybody, Haku here with my final review for Citrus. Citrus episode 12 here, and if you don't know, if you haven't been around the channel for a while, whenever I review the last episode of a show, not only at the end do I give the episode a score as normal for these reviews, but I also talk about the show itself as a whole a bit, and give the show itself a score at the end too. But either way, let's talk about this episode. I thought it was really, really good because from the beginning I've been like, okay, I know that the manga is still an ongoing thing, so I can very much assume that this isn't gonna all be resolved in the first season unless they shoehorn in an anime-only ending, and I hate when anime does that. So, yeah, I was hoping for it to follow the manga, which I haven't read, but still, I was hoping for it to follow that, so I knew that they weren't gonna get together totally. Everything wasn't gonna be resolved in one season. But either way, thought it was good. It's always bittersweet. Every time I watch the last episode of any show ever, I'm always just so bittersweet because I'm like, no matter how good it is, I'm losing this show. I'm not gonna have this show to watch anymore. So it's always a bittersweet feeling, but going into it throughout the first scene and everything leading up to where it's been going, I still feel, like I said last episode, really bad for Sara. I don't know, the character just seems so good and so kind, but kind of not lucky in this circumstance because Yuzu and Mei were meant to be together. But either way, Yuzu tells Nina that Sara is special to her, and that's why she has to give it her all. That's why she has to be serious, even if this maybe isn't what I don't know. Even if this is sort of taking the love away from Sara, she has to be honest with her because she cares about her. Nina tackles her and tells her the sort of impetus, the reason for what Nina's been doing, trying to keep her away so that Mei and Sara can get together, is because that she knows Sara always puts others first. That's the kind of person she is. So if she ever learns that Yuzu and Mei, that Mei is the person that Yuzu's in love with, Sara would back down and, sacrifice her own feelings so that Yuzu could be happy, because that's the kind of person she is, putting others first. And I really, really liked this, because they're the antagonists in a way here, but Nina and Sara are just such good characters and very, very likable, so you can't really feel mad at them or anything. You could kind of feel that way a bit more toward Matsuri in the last little story arc we had going, but it's hard to really feel bad for Sara or Nina, or to really feel angry at Sara or Nina, because they're such good people as characters. But Sara calls Yuzu to come meet her, and Yuzu says, I have to go, I have to be honest, even if it makes me lose Sara as a friend and Mei as a love interest, even if I lose both of them, I have to be honest with both of them. So Sara meets with Yuzu and tells her that she already confessed to Mei, and she wants to give her the same chance to confess. So she's supposed to be meeting Mei at the shrine and tells Yuzu to go meet her instead. And I like Sara's whole speech here, where she says that she can tell that Mei is a little girl that's hiding her wounded heart, and Yuzu's the same way. And the line that I'm not the one that Mei is waiting for was really, really good too. So again, I like Yuzu and Sara's relationship, the way they both like the same girl, but they're both really, I don't know, they make very good friends, and they kind of got off to a very good friendship really quickly with each other. So I like the relationship a lot, and I hope we see more of them as friends. And Sara says, maybe I think my destiny was to bring Mei and Yuzu together. I'm not holding back. This is what I want to do. And she says that she's happy that she has Nina that cares about her so much to go through all this. So again, I really, really like them, and hey, if they want to make the Twincest a thing, I don't mind. So, yeah, I'm really happy with them as characters, and I hope they can stay friends with Yuzu and Mei. So Yuzu self-reflects on her way to go find Mei, and she just realizes that this isn't really Mei's fault. A lot of this is kind of my fault. in equal parts to her, because A, neither one of us could really confess our true feelings to each other, and B, whenever we did start to, the other couldn't accept those feelings. So she's like, I have been just as wrong as Mei has in all of this. Matsuri, we see a cute little scene of her worrying about Yuzu, and I like this for the side characters, because they had Yuzu, or Matsuri worried about Yuzu, and then they show Himiko and Harumin watching her run toward Mei and commenting on her conviction and following through with everything so strongly. So again, I really like that for the side characters. Yuzu then finds Mei. We have the chase confession scene, which was really, really great, and she completely loves her. She won't hide her feelings anymore, and they kiss. Yes, please. All that scene was amazing. They go then and meet with Nina and Sarah. And Nina is hilarious during this. But Sarah talks... This is the one part of the episode that I'm a little bit on. Sarah and Mei talk one-on-one. And Mei talks about not wanting to lose Sarah. And I'm thinking, did Mei actually like her? We saw that Mei accepted her... we saw that Mei accepted her confession, but I thought it was just so that Mei could use her to make Yuzu jealous, sort of make Yuzu open up about her feelings, but did Mei actually like Sarah? What? I wasn't quite expecting that line, and I was a little bit confused by it. Then, as they're leaving, we had the cute hand-holding scene. I love the way that Yuzu is just so bashful and so happy that it's happening. Mei mentions that she wants to date Yuzu. My heart, this kiss scene on the bridge is amazing. And then, yeah, we have the ending. Yuzu humming the ending theme was really, really good. But yeah, all the characters, I guess 4 that go to that school, walk to school together, and that's where we end. It was really, really good. I liked the last shot we had of the 2 of them holding hands walking into the Citrus title screen. So all that was really, really good. The story, though, obviously still has a lot to be told. There's a lot that they have to go through to be a real couple. So I'm hoping for a season 2 in maybe a few years. I think that'd be good. So yeah, I'm happy with how it ended for now, though. I really loved the characters. That was the best part of this to me. But that's generally the way I am with most shows. Shows that have weak characters, even if everything else is good, I struggle to get into. But even if the rest of the stuff is bland or very mundane, if something has good characters, that's what draws me in. That's my favorite part of movies, TV, anything. Yuzuchi was probably my favorite character. I just thought that her changes throughout the series and the depth with which we got to see her feelings, we didn't really get to see that for Mei. As an audience, because we're looking at things from Yuzu's perspective, we never really did know exactly what Mei was thinking, so we're kind of in the same boat as Yuzu. But seeing it from Yuzu's perspective and hearing her thoughts throughout the series, it was really good because she changed a lot, faltered back and forth, and it all felt very, I don't want to say realistic necessarily, but it all felt very developed. So as an episode, I loved it. There were multiple times I got feels because I was just so happy for them. That one line, that meeting between Sarah and Mei, I thought was a little weird, so that's the only thing that kind of off-put me. But yeah, it was great, just not completely perfect. So I'd give it 9.75 out of 10 as an episode. Best episode so far to me. So maybe season 2 can beat that if there is one, but anime doesn't get season 2. Well, some anime don't get season 2 that often. But either way, the show as a whole, some thoughts on it. I thought it was a really great romance. I feel like I mentioned it before, I believe. No, I mentioned it, I was going to say the Haku, but it was in the anime spring video that I just posted a few days ago, I think. It's not a week by now, it's only a few days. But yeah, it was in that where I mentioned that I've seen plenty of romance stuff, anime included, obviously, but I found that when watching romance anime, out of every 10 straight anime that I watch that are romances, maybe 1 to 3 are good, and I end up disliking the rest, and it takes a lot for me to dislike a show, but bad romance is one of the worst things ever. Like, a bad romance is, well, maybe it's more like a romance is easier to get bad or easier to get wrong than a comedy is, or an action. But romance is very, very hit and miss. But out of all the Yuri romance shows I've seen, and I've seen a good four-ish maybe by now, if you count Yuri romance subplots, more than that, but of the shows that I've watched, basically all of them have been really good. Netsuzo Trap is kind of the only one that's been kind of, even then I wouldn't say it's bad, it's just very on the fence for me because I'm not into NTR. But that's another thing with this show, it was sometimes a little bit too NTR-ish. I did love the setting for this though, and I thought when watching it, I was constantly thinking the show was very good, but it could be better. I was always thinking, well, if they did this differently, if they did that differently, it could be better than what it is. So I think that's a little bit kind of the story of the show. It's a very good show that could be better. So yeah, whenever I do a score for a show at the end, I always take every episode's review score, average it together, and then kind of see if that should be higher or lower than what things should be. The average score was 8.6 for all the episodes, and I actually think that's good for the show as a whole, so I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to give it 8.6 Yuri Inseki romances out of 10. Inseki is when you're not really technically related, right? So yeah, 8.6 out of 10. I think that actually fits very well, because it's a really good show. I enjoyed it. Of course, it's the kind of thing I typically like, but even then I enjoyed it. Yeah, so that's it. And again, it keeps me in that mindset of I have not really seen a bad Yuri anime. Most of them have either been good, or there was one that was kind of on the fence. So yeah, guess that's it for me. So like if you did like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of this final episode, what you thought of the show, what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for much more anime and stuff on the channel. I would say definitely check out the video that I mentioned earlier where I was talking about the spring anime, talking about what I might watch or what I might review, because even if there's something you're interested in that I'm not reviewing every week, if I'm watching it, we can still do discussions on it, like 5-10 minute discussions in the Haku videos. So there's still stuff we can do even if it's not technically reviewing every week. And then if you have any suggestions, that totally helps too. So I guess that's it. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. If you want a link to the Discord server to talk with me, more of us there, then ask and I can give you a link to that. But that's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.